Today we're going to work with using the number line and graphing on our number line. So before we can start with that, we need to review what the different symbols mean. So if I give you this symbol, means less than. This one is greater than. Two new ones that you may not know is your less than with a line underneath, which means less than or equal to it. Same thing, greater than or equal to for the other one. So we have four different symbols we have to know. Less than and greater than should be review. Less than or equal to, greater than or equal to are your two new ones. So when you're graphing, if you have less than or greater than, use an open circle at the number, then make your arrow. If less than or equal to or greater than or equal to, use a closed circle at the number, then make your arrow. So what do I mean by all this? Well, I'll show you here in just a minute. When you're graphing, I want to have your variable first. So I'm going to say you have to have your variable, then your symbol, then your number. If you don't, you're going to have to rewrite it. So you always have to ask yourself, is your variable first? What's the variable again? Well, that is your letter. Your symbol would be your less than, greater than, less than or equal to, greater than or equal to. And then you know what a number is. So let's look at some examples. So let's say I want to graph x is greater than 3. Okay, so first I'm going to start off by making a number line. So when I make a number line, I'm going to draw a line. It doesn't have to be real big, but I know I need 3, so I'm going to start down here at 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Doesn't have to be very big, just as long as it includes the number and then numbers on either side of it. So at the top, we figured out if it's a less than or greater than, we use an open circle. Less than or equal to or greater than or equal to, we used a closed circle. So in this case, we have a greater than, so we look back up, we should be using an open circle. So what that means is I'm going to place an open circle at the number. Well, my number is 3, so I'm going to place an open circle. And when I have my letter first, I can follow whatever way the sign is pointing. So since the sign is pointing to my right, my line on my number line goes to the right. That only works when I have the letter first. So let's try another one. X is less than 7. So again, I'm going to draw my number line, include a couple numbers on either side. I can put 7 in the middle, go up, 8, 9, down, 6, 5. I had to ask myself, open or closed circle. Less than is an open circle. So I do an open circle at 7. My letter is first, so I can follow the way the sign is pointing. So it goes to the left. What about P is less than or equal to -2? So again, draw my number line. So there's -2. If I go higher, it's going to be -1. 0, lower is -3, -4. Remember, if you forget, there's the number line on the wall in the room, so make sure you use it as your cheat sheet. Okay, less than or equal to, so I'm going to use a closed circle. So at -2, a closed circle means I make a circle and I fill it in. So less than or equal to, my letter is first, so I draw my line off to the left. What about P is greater than or equal to -8? So again, draw my number line, place -8 in the middle, higher -7, -6, lower -9, -10. Ask myself, open or closed circle? I have the line underneath my symbol, so it is a closed circle. Look at my sign, my letter is first, so my arrow goes to the right. Okay, let's look at some where the letter's not first and see what happens. So let's say I have -6 is greater than or equal to B. So remember I said your letter always has to be first. So what I need to do is change it all around. So I need my letter first, which means my number has to go here. But notice how the smaller part of my sign is pointing towards the letter, so I have to flip this sign around, so it's going to be backwards. I'm doing a mirror image. I'm reflecting it back over. So if I notice, I've got my B is diagonal, -6 is diagonal, my image is reversed, or my symbol is. Okay, so now I can do my number line. So I'm doing -6 in the middle, -5, -4, lower, -7, -8. Open or closed circle, I have my line underneath it, which makes it a closed circle. Now since I have my letter first, I can follow my rule and go to the left. What about X is less than 13? Draw your number line. Start with 13 in the middle, go a little higher, 14, 15, a little lower, 12, and 11. Open or closed circle? Should be open. I have my letter first, so I can graph it, so it would go to the left. 2 more. Let's look at 8 is less than A. Is my letter first? No, so I need to rewrite it. So flip my A and my 8 around. When I flip those around, I also have to flip my sign. Now I can graph. So my number line, starting with 8 in the middle, go a little higher, 9, 10, a little lower, 7, and 6. Open or closed circle? Should be open. My sign has been flipped, so I go to the right. And last one. -5 is less than or equal to Q. Do I have my letter first? No, so I need to flip it. So Q, -5. If I flip those, I also have to flip my symbol. Draw my number line. So start at -5, go a little higher, -4, -3, lower, -6, -7. Open or close circle. Line underneath means it's a closed circle and going to the right.